So, like I said, the president is healthy, he's good, he's getting ready to start the second phase of the elections that we call the run-up. In keeping with our constitution, we are told that the run-up will be on the 14th of November, which is the second Tuesday after the pronouncement of the final election result by NEC. And so, uh, according to the campaign team, that the shed will be up formally today, and then Saturday we'll start the campaign. But that the beginning phase will be right there in Mosorado County before we can go to other counties. Some of you want to know whether the president will be able to cover all of the counties. That I will tell you definitely no, he will not cover all of the counties, but the campaign team will be able to reach every part of the every part of the country to pass the president message to tell the people why the president should be re-elected. Initially, I said the president is happy with the coverage the media provided during the first phase of our presidential and legislative elections. He commended that formally when he delivered a special message at the United Nations Day ceremonies that was held yesterday at the One UN House on the first and second streets of Singapore. Basically, the president applauded and asked people to give it a round of applause for the media because he said there were people who wanted power by all means, and what they were engaging was mere propaganda, and nobody bought into that. I mean, the media did not buy into that. They were professional. They reported what they saw, and their reportage helped to sustain the peace and make our election most peaceful. And people in our country are now going about the normal activities. Uh, so he hailed the media for that, and he also called the media not to be carried away by the praises they are getting, both from him and maybe our international community, but to remain committed to what they were doing to ensuring that peace reigns in Liberia, which is above every one of us, and that what we should pray for and that what we should report the truth and nothing but the truth. We should not buy into opposition lies because most of them want to come to power with lies. It tells you definitely that if that happens, maybe it's also lies they will use to rule our people or to lead our people, which of course is contrary to what our people need to hear. So the president also pledged Liberia's support to the United Nations, Liberia being one of the founding members of the United Nations. In fact, the three countries that signed the initial document, the UN Charter that brought the establishment of the United Nations. Liberia was one of the three countries, along with 47 other countries, that signed that first charter. Today, the UN is more than 200, has about 195 permanent members and other observer groups. So he has pledged Liberia commitment to working with the UN to make sure the aims and objective of the UN is met. Uh, that is also can be manifest not by just by voice, but you see the president supporting all of the platform of the United Nations going to the various forums and fora. The Liberia, as small as we are, just graduating from what I would call our Liberian civil crisis. Liberia has peacekeeping troops around the world. We have our troops in Mali that is like closing, but they are in Mali. They have been there for a while. We have some of our police officers also serving in the mission in South Sudan armies and other part of the world where we have our troops. So I mean, it's a significant step in making the UN to believe in what our country stands for. At least graduating for war, becoming the most successful story in UN history in terms of peacekeeping. And the president has vowed to maintain that and work with all other organs of the United Nations or other international bodies for which Liberia has signed treaty or is member of. The president also commended, after the formal results were announced, commended the people of Liberia in the orderly manner they conducted themselves to go to the October team pool. That's a clear manifestation and demonstration that the people of Liberia are willing to uphold the democracies that we all enjoy today. And because of that, at yesterday's ceremony, all of the speakers, the head of the UN country team, Christine Omutoni, and the speaker of the diplomatic corps in Liberia, all hail Liberia, and they said Liberia is an example of democracy in this country, in on African continent and the world, because this is an elections that was solely funded by the Liberian government, not just by providing funding, but this is the elections that Liberia provided 100% security on our own. We don't have 15 multidimensional, 14,000 multidimensional peacekeeping troops in our country. We do not have police from EU. We do not have anybody from anywhere besides mere observers that we have. And so Liberia, the president in particular, was praised for not meddling into the elections, letting NEC to do her statutory role, perform its role without interference. And I think this is why the president has always prayed for, and that's why he wants to see, and that's why he's going to support throughout his career. Mind you, this is one person who left his comfort zone, went into the trenches to have our people disarmed. This is one person who have worked with previous administration like the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government. This is one person who worked with UNICEF to make sure peace reign in Liberia, and he has vowed and he will ensure that nothing happens on his watch to the peace that we all enjoy and the freedom he's given our people to reign. I think in some of the oppositions talking, they are pleased with that. Some of them will not come out openly, but they are saying yes, is the president we have, and he's doing extremely well to make sure peace and security reign in our country. The president has also, like I said, will be starting his campaign tour on Saturday, God's willing, holding everything constant. And we are going to begin with Mosrado County. I mean, the campaign tour is just a continuation of the president letting people who don't know, not people who know and pretend not to know, but people who don't know exactly what he has done in the past. But it will not just be this time around, not just be focused on what he has done in the past, but what he's doing and what he intends to do after he's re-elected come November 14. People will know that he president means business because some of the things he promised during the first round of campaigning, those things are beginning to manifest themselves. Take for example when he visited District 17 in on the Brother era, that Brother belt. One of the things that people told him that you already needed was electricity, and he told them that immediately he leave, assessment would have gone in the area, and today most of the homes, about 1,000 homes, have electricity. When he switched on the light, sometime last week, and before the end of before the end of January, I'm told the entire district 17 should be electrified. I'm not talking about people using a personal generator. I'm not talking about provision of solar energy. I'm talking about fully electricity that will be provided to all homes in the community. That is also can tell you that when we were on our campaign trail, state on electricity, the president symbolically switched on the lights in Palala, and today all of the homes in that belt, over 300,000 homes that we spoke about, have received meters. And once you get meters, those are the electricity, mean, of course, it's just a day or two away from having electricity. So the president is not reneging any promises. He's fulfilling the promises one by one. And he's going to tell the people that intend to continue the development he's carrying out. He's not building parks only at the Invisible Park or in Clarendon, but he wants those parks to be replicated throughout our 15 political subdivisions. That means in the other counties. If you left from here today and went to the Nuclear Municipal Board of Nuclear, where I come from, where I live, that particular football field is so dear to my heart. When I look at the picture of yesterday, I almost cry for joy because the Nuclear Sports Association, I served as Secretary General before. It was more than the ball-headed anti-technical student. Some of you were alive to see that. But you can see it's fully carpet, fully covered. If you see it, it looks like some of the pictures you have in Europe, which of course tells you that, yes, the president doesn't renege on his promises. Anything he said he would do, he's definitely going to do that. And I show probably during the tour of Moserado, Some of the parks will be dedicated, probably the PHP park. If the park in Nicanor is ready, he's also going to do that as well. The president is going to tell the people about what he intends to do in terms of job creation. Basically, when he spoke at the party headquarters, he spoke of some policies that are being put into place to have our young people get jobs, mostly those people who are volunteering. That as of January 2024, there will be no voluntary health worker, there will be no voluntary teachers. All of them will be placed on government payroll. I think that's something substantial for our country and for our people who have been volunteering, who do not know, I mean, exactly what will happen the next time. So those people jobs are secure come January 2024. One of the issues we have had is to making sure that those people who are taking care of our beachway, waterway, those that project according to the president program has been put into place to place that program directly on the maritime, so we'll not have some of the inconveniences we had, so that we'll have a straightforward planning and programming to sustain that, because it's another means of providing livelihood for those who went through them. So there are a lot of things the president is putting into place to make sure that our economy continues to boom, that people have jobs, that people go to school. Like for example, people in elementary are still paying what they call registration fee. The president is trying to make this wise free something more uh, legislated, and that same will apply for elementary students in government schools. They don't have to worry about registering. All they have to do is to just get up in the morning, go to the school, give a particular for record slip, but you don't have to pay a cent to enter. And these are the things the president want to do. Most importantly of all, uh, the president literally cried when he visited the southeast because of the road conditions. He was not in the mood. He was not getting emotional because of the length of time he spent on the road, but because of the condition, and putting himself in the shoes of people who plow those roads, those routes every now and then, he almost broke down. And he has vowed that those roads come the next 6 years will not be the same, will not be like that. And it's so good that he has secured funding to do the coastal highway that is from Buchanan to Riverside, Riverside Tunnel, and then Grand Crew. So that's a good news for the people in the southeast. I'm not saying this because campaign is on or because he wants to be re-elected, but that's what he has done. What has taught it, the rainy season, the COVID, and being able to raise 100% of the funding. Uh, when we went to Qatar, we also met with the Sheikh when the president had that, where people say he only went to watch football. Yes, he watched football, he some play. Yes, I was in the stand. I met great players as well. But his overall objective was to see how best you can get funding. Nobody in the president's shoes will not want to do that. Not want to do that. I don't mean that because his son is playing, so you're not want to go see your son. No, I'm asking for assistance. You gave me an invitation as a president of a state, and I need you for support. Yeah, be supporting my agenda because of my status when it comes to sports, soccer in particular, and people look at me as a world icon when it comes to that. And the president who's buttressing to support my effort invite me to great social education. None of you in the room want to turn that down. And so the president graciously took that invitation. That invitation has paved the way for the second phase of the Lofa Banga Lofa Vojima Highway, and which of course, so most of the travels the president make is not just for pageantry, it's not a safari, but it's somewhere you have gone in the interest of Mama Liberia, in the interest of meeting the PAPD, the proper agenda, so that our people will not be the same. People are with the president a lot for road. Yes, the road is very essential. The president will not be worrying about road if since 1847, if every person was doing like 10 kilometers of road, but now in every year we will not be discussing roads, we'll be discussing other things. So yes, the president remain committed. So he's going to tell the people how during the recent tour, promises he made before, and things they have done also are promises. So he'll be telling them, because by that the people actually know exactly, yes, this man Just 2 days ago, you're with us in Brewerville. You promised electricity, we're getting electricity. A Palada, we're getting this. Phone is secure already. I mean, nobody's going to come there to start from scratch. The president does not believe in blueprint, to say, well, let me design the blueprint and go for the next 15, 50 years to do. If you go on if you look at the EAW road now, it's gaining momentum. Right now, the pavement is beyond the EAW hospital. Probably by the end of this week, we might be talking about reaching close to the bakery. If you know Tinker's Village Belt, you'll be talking about reaching the bakery and what have you. And this is the commitment the president has made, and you continue to do that. So basically, the second tour is engagement with the people. Mind you, you'll be surprised. Some of you will say, oh, when the president spoke, you were telling the people of Nimba, thank you, the people of Lofa, thank you. Places, then when you're telling them, thank you. Yes, indeed. The president believe that everybody has the right to choose whoever they want. He has the right, and also, all he needs to do is to go back to those people and make the people to believe in him, make the people to see what he's doing, make the people to know what he will do for them is related. This is why he's coming to go back on the second phase of the campaign trail. Uh, Investigation is on a way. I will not reveal how far when the final rulings will be given. But like the president said, and he has assured the international community and all Liberians that the violence that happened during the first federal elections campaigning period, and most close to the time I'm talking about what happened along the freeway and what happened in Foya is under investigation. And he promised no matter what it takes. And every other thing that happened, unlike previous elections that have been here, where we have 14,000 plus peacekeepers, where we have donors funding our elections. But this time around, it was done by the president, the Liberian government. They funded 100%, they provided security. And not just that, but without interference, where people freely choose their will and they were respected. So, yes, the president is not going to blame anybody who did not vote for him because he believed in the tenets of democracy and what democracy is all about. So basically, for now, I will stop and then Ellis will supervise taking your questions. Like I said, I won't say exactly the president will be going to District 17 first or District 16, but the campaign will start on Saturday. The schedule is expected to come up today, if it is not already up, and from the schedule, we'll know where he will be going first.
Thank you. If you have a question, kindly call your name and the institution you represent. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you. So speaking of the campaign, since the October 10 elections, there have been reports from international organizations and CSOs that were accredited to observe the election. There are reports that the government used state-funded, state resources or state-funded institutions to campaign. Is that concerning to the president?
Well, it should be a concern because people are saying that. But I think saying that people use state-funded resources or state funds, I think you have to look at it from various perspective. Saying it is another thing, providing evidence is another thing. But one good thing I know, the president remains the president. The president cannot go on campaign trail vulnerable. He needs state security to go there. If the state security have to go there, for example, the police are not going to walk. They are not going to walk in barefooted. They'll use a vehicle assigned to them. Okay. No, I'm just saying this. So you have to be they, not you. So don't get me wrong. They who are levying this accusation should come forth and see exactly what the resources in question, where are the funding in question. But there is nothing that takes away the presidency from the president. He still remains president. The state security provides security for him. They are still there. They will use their own vehicle to go if they have to provide security for the president. So is that the resources they're talking about? But otherwise, I don't think their concerns or their accusation is real. And it's not in the interest of our country. And it's I mean, I think it's contrary to what they intend to do. If I accuse you, Moses, that you stole my watch, I should be able to say the watch I stole. You should be able to say the watch I stole, where I stole. If you got to provide evidence, I can say Moses stole my watch. And I just leave it like that. It's not good for you. It's not good for myself. I should be able to substantiate whatever claims I'm making.
Thank you, Freedom.
I'm Thomas Kojo Roland. I'm concerned there are too many people who keep raising concern about this government being uh, the lead rank in terms of electoral violence. What are plans going into the run-up campaign activities? And that issue have to do with campaign financing. Integrity Watch Liberia is one of those institutions that watching people financing the campaign processes. They accuse the CDC and this government of being the highest spender of money in campaign financing.
Other people are accusing this government, and other people are hating the government for the fruitful conduct, peaceful conduct, and for doing everything they did to ensure that our election was peaceful, well funded. So, like I said, whosoever want to level accusation should come up with evidence, should say exactly what happened, and not just blanket accusation. But let me come to this. You are journalists, you have been following the campaign trail. If you didn't, go back to some of your friends' podcasts and see, well, who initiated violence? Which one of the parties? Partisan was killed in cold blood. It was a CDC person, harmless person, running away from a crowd. People purportedly wearing other t-shirts of another party, stoning somebody's child to death. Was it the CDC? Was it this government? The violence in Foya, was it the CDC? So I think some of you people in the media need to help these people if they don't understand which party is which party. This president has never been a violent person. Has he ever? No. All he preached was peace. Throughout the campaign, he even warned his people not to be careful because they'll be what? They'll be tempted. They will be, I don't know, I don't know the word to use. But, I mean, they will be drawn into a situation where they will want to retaliate, where they want to fight back, and you told them not to do that. And they didn't do that. CCC remained peaceful throughout. Check all the areas. So let me ask you this question. If you look at the other candidates and those around them, who do you think is more violent? Or who do you think wants to bring chaos? Is it possible for Sulukewe to gather all of the tally sheets in Liberia and put in one day plastic bag that my one finger can carry? And you claiming that you have all the results in that little tiny plastic bag? Was it the CDC?
But there was a time that the
Was it the
General,
CDC?
there was a time that the Secretary General of the CDC called on supporters of the party to gather in Congo Town that indeed they have won the election. They should go about preparing for inauguration.
There, I don't know. I don't hold it. I don't speak for. Listen, I don't speak for the party. Yeah, I don't speak for the chair of the CDC. But can you, as a journalist, can you give me any recording or recorded statement that said quoting the chairman or using his audio that ever said they won the elections and they should go to celebrate? If I invite you to my house as a candidate celebrate, I just using it. Listen, I don't think the chairman ever used that word. But if I say candidate celebrate, does it mean you celebrating victory or you celebrating what? If the mayor call is a partisan to assemble at the party headquarters and the partisan went there, did they celebrate victory? Did they claim victory? Or people just say, if you mind what people say, you'll not be here. Because people say people were running from Watersa and they were fighting. Anybody for there? People say they have all the tally sheet and want the tally sheet in the whole country filling your plastic bag. People say Snow is leaving the CDC because why? Henry Costa is on board. What did you hear Snow say? So let me tell you this. I think the Liberian people have come to realize that no matter what, they cannot trust the country to bunch the stack of lies that they call propaganda. If you want to use lies to sway people away from the actual truth, it means when you come to power, you allow to them throughout your life. Even in America that we go to, There are situations in America where you don't have current because of some situation. Then somebody said they come to power, that when they come to power, there will be nobody, no electricity will pop, no electricity will go up at all. Who you are, even the damn side can have issues. So uh, 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 I'm happy that some of you are seeing these things, but I'll be more than happy if you can go after these people to verify. It hurts a lot that CDC partisan were stoned, someone killed on a Somalia draft like chicken. You have saw the audio. Was it a CDC partisan that were killing people? Let's be real and be serious for once more. Okay? I mean, Liberians are not going to trust their country to people who don't mean well for our country. You are into a process. The first phase of the process is not even over. Then you start dividing jobs. Do they want to bring stability to our country? Do they want to carry our country forward? Or they want, or they just seeking self-interest, self-aggrandizement? Is that what they want? Is that what Liberians going to look at the interest in? I don't want to go personal, but sometimes these things people need to go into it.
Thank you. My name is Weah Johnson, and I report for Bana FM. Quite recently, the ALP party endorsed President Weah's second term bid. During the endorsement, the president, in a battle cry, said we will catch the Bukar as tend to be corrected. Many people have taken to social media and other electronic media saying such statement was directed to the ALP and it is very demeaning. As a spokesperson for the president, what you care to say to that, sir?
Well, the president, I don't know. You see, don't let anybody interpret you. You interpret yourself. The president did not mean to degrade anybody, or you're not referring to the ALP as a booker. Those are ordinary idioms that have their own. If anybody, like I said before, the only people that will think that way will be those from the opposition bloc, the people themselves who endorse the president, the ALP. They know the president means well for them, and they are having a better and good collaboration. They are not thinking that way. But people who are hurt that ALP did not endorse them, they will want to say or consider them to be that way. So I mean, that's just their own way of wanting to interpret things, but that's not it. The president is not the person who demean a friend. The president has been who he is, has been very peaceful, and he respect every child. This is why you don't go after people who say negative things about him or this and that, but you remain who he is.
Okay.
Dr. I want to say thank you for this engagement. Actually, it's important for us to have such an engagement. Yesterday, the president struck a very good point referencing the Liberian media for the role that it play. Is the president also concerned of journalists speaking out, writing what they want to write, and without intimidation of being removed from the executive mansion chat room because of some reason, maybe that the press office is not satisfied with?
Well, I think the KK Act is the brain, the doing, and the will of the president. This is why those of you from the media are free to report whatever you report. He doesn't go after anybody. So it's scaring for those of us that are into mainstream journalism now to see journalists being targeted by people who want in power. More than 15 plus journalists were targeted and blacklisted in Nima. They said because there was a function that was called Bakuji that they went to, but it's not his president. The president cannot be commending media for a job well done and at the same time going after them. The president cannot be the one being the key architect of the KK Act, Free Speech Act, and want to target journalists. So if for any reason there are some journalists, quote unquote, maybe you are saying, I don't know whether you are removed from any chat room or not. No, let me learn, please.
This is just to
Let me learn. You get a chance, please.
okay.
If for any reason there was anybody who was removed from any children that I know of. It was Godfrey Badu.